it. Now it's just like, oh, anyone can get that.
The engineered cowboy hat is cool. I like that one.
Yes.
I don't have it.
I like the Pyro's beanie. He gets a little pinwheel on his head with a flamethrower.
It's the same thing in BioShock 2, where as you rank up and as you kill people, as you do complete challenges, you get masks.
But overall, after all that was said, I mean, how do we feel about achievements? Love or hate? I'm gonna say love.
I'd say a mixed relationship.
I would have to agree. I think they can be occasionally interesting, but they're really not worth going out of the way for.
I would say mixed relationship, but more towards love. Yeah.
Well, you have more achievements than half the world combined.
I have
achievement hooker.
I have 50,805 gamer score.
Jesus.
It's not actually that much because there's this one guy.
You didn't even get the console at launch or anything. Like, you just played a lot of games and got a lot of achievements.
Hey, you know what to that? I played Avatar.
Of course. That's something I'm also against. Playing a game that's crap just to get achievement scored, like, I think that's kind of ridiculous.
Well,
I think that's the way.
Different.
Like,
it's different for Avatar because Avatar took literally 20 seconds and you got all 1,000. If it's a crap game and it takes you like 20 hours, that's a waste of time.
Well, that's the other thing too. I think Xbox has a little bias in their their achievements, because the points that you get from them can actually be used to obtain objects. It's not like the PSN where it's just like okay, it's just kind of like you're there.
I don't think you can get objects.
No, actually, they're virtually worth nothing. They're basically like a little.
Although at Microsoft, I heard Microsoft does want to do this program where, based on the number of gamer score you have, you're going to be rewarded. Like if you have like a very large amount, you're actually like giving like a gold membership.
Yeah, when I first heard about achievements, I thought because I saw this big score and Microsoft had their own currency, which was points. I was like, maybe if I play a lot of games, I get a bunch of Microsoft points or something. But that's obviously not how it works.
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of referencing to the way they want to do it, because with that, if you're honestly going to be rewarded a physical item, or in this case it's a gold membership for achieving game points, that's when I'm against people going out to just buying crap games just to get the achievements.
Yeah.
Alright, well frankly, that's all we're going to have to do for our main event, and I definitely think it was good getting the achievement stuff out there, because a lot of people are definitely pouring in maybe even more game time to achievements in other parts of the actual game. So, on that note, let's try to dig into our winner and loser of the week. I'll start. My winner of the week is Ubisoft. For taking advantage of Wii Motion Plus. They're going to go into the development of Red Steel and obviously the publishing of Red Steel 2. They're going to take another shot at it. We all know how plagued it was, but maybe some third-party content can come out of the Wii and give some greatness to the Wii. And it's, this will be a first-person shooter. It's got some sword play and stuff. Previews around, I've seen some good things. I like that Ubisoft is giving a nice shot at creating some third-party content on the Wii. And my loser of the week will be Ubisoft as well, because although they are jumping into all this crap on the Wii, they consistently release reports saying we don't want to make stuff on the Wii. So unfortunately, the only people that are daring enough to try all these crazy things and trying to create some great third-party content on the Wii want to stop. And the whole Games for Gamers quote is coming out again, and of course now Ubisoft wants to give up on the Wii altogether. It's unfortunate. But
the thing about third-party developers on the Wii is it's very hard to compete with Nintendo itself. I mean, it's when the platform maker is your biggest competition. It's sort of hard to release on that sort of console. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure of it. But Ubisoft is a pretty big name in development, and if they're not going to compete with Nintendo on their platform, nobody is. And it pretty much just marks the end of third-party content being released on the Wii. It's very unfortunate. So, moving around the Knights round table here, who else wants to go with the winner and loser?
I'll go. My winner is the modding community on the PC. Recently, the Epic Games released their Unreal mod contest I forgot its exact name. It's like Unreal Deal or something. It was pretty much they released a contest to the modding community who used the Unreal Engine and said, okay, whoever can make the best mod for Unreal Tournament 3 wins $50,000.
Nice.
Right? So that recently concluded, and there was a winner. The mod was called The Haunted, which was a horror shooter using the Unreal Engine as a modding tool for Unreal Tournament 3. And it just shows you how powerful the internet community is, that they can just take a game and make it their own.
Were you allowed to play it? Did they publish it?
Yes. It's also soon going to be released as a standalone item.
Really? Sweet.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, it just shows you. I mean, any game released on the PC, whether the game developers want it to or not, will become modded and ultimately made better by the community. I mean, it's like making wine. The longer you let it sit on the internet, the better it gets.
I heard that was one of the reasons why you wish Mag was released for PC.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, that too. I mean, just because if Mag was on PC, that would be crazy. Now you reminded me. Now I'm sad. I hate
Well, turn that sadness to anger with your loser of the week.
Sega. Sega either they're going to start work or they already have started work on a new Sonic game.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Only what they're going to do.
This ties into mine, but continue.
Yeah, they're going to try and make it a 3D side-scroller, like the way Sonic used to be, side-scrolling, running. I'm like, well, if you spent all this time and all this money investing in a platform 3D environment, why are you suddenly going backwards? I mean, do you have that faith in your business plan?
I'm gonna just respond to that and say, like, I don't think that Sonic 4 is a bad thing. I mean, some people say that 3D.
I'm not saying Sonic 4 is a bad thing. I'm saying it's the way they're going about it and how they're going backwards with their
that's going exactly what they should be doing. Because if you looked at almost any of the 3D Sonic games that they've released in the last few years, they've been absolutely terrible. I mean,
I know.
Shadow the Hedgehog was probably one of the worst games released in the year it was released. I mean, they're putting warehouses in, and the 3D interface just doesn't make sense. You don't have the, running fast and, appeal that you have with the 2D.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I'm not saying Sonic is, I'm saying Sega is, because when Sega first started the 3D Sonic games, they said they're never ever again gonna do a side-scrolling game. They're done with it and they buried it, and all of a sudden they're going back now. It's like, nice job with looking to the future, guys.
Well, I'm kind of glad that they went against their comment, but I'm just going to go after you and say my loser first. My loser is actually the Sonic 4 petitioners of this
the boycott.
They're doing a boycott of Sonic 4 because they don't think it's going to be as good as the original Sonic games, even though Sega is actually finally listening and they are releasing a 2D Sonic game. But guess the reason why they're my loser is because they're going about petitioning by buying Sonic 1. Now, if you want to make an impact on somebody, you don't buy their products. That's just stupid.
Yeah. I mean, the only time a boycott or just a protest works is if you can actually cause some physical harm to the people. Like, that's why the Montgomery bus boycott was so effective, because it affected Montgomery's economy.
Maybe not physical harm, financial harm. The physical harm is
you don't it's better in financial space than to say that this is bad. No, that's the exact opposite of what you do. But responding to you again, I don't mind at all that they're going back on what they've said. I'm actually kind of glad that they're going back on what they've said. I'm looking forward to Sonic 4, and hopefully it'll, shine a new and improved light on the franchise that is pretty much, one of the biggest falls of, one of the biggest franchises since it was released.
Yeah, that and James Bond, right?
Yeah, I think those two are some of the worst. And going to the winner, I'm going to say my winner is Nintendo. They've had a lot of big announcements recently. At their Nintendo Summit, one of their first hardware announcement was that the DSi XL will be out in March.
Yay.
I mean, first of all, I'm going to say I'm more looking forward to that more than I'm looking forward to the PSP Go. I mean, that thing I think was just a failure, really.
That's failure in your hand right there.
It was debatable that the PSP in general could have been a failure.
I don't think it was a failure. I mean, all right, because this has come up.
I don't want to.